Hi everyone, Marisa Stone here with Simon Says Social and the Systems Lounge, and I want to welcome you today to the 2018 Premier International Women's Business Systems Virtual Summit, where you get to learn all about the systems that our speakers are using to get things done. I am super excited to have Kimberly Sulfridge here today. She is a wonderful friend of mine who is all about masterminds for your business. And if you do not know what a mastermind is, or you have not really explored this as a system or as an opportunity for your business, stick around, because we're going to be diving deep into what is it that a mastermind can do for us. But let me start by telling you a little bit about Kimberly. Kimberly is a serial entrepreneur who's owned and operated several businesses in a number of different niches, including insurance, real estate, adventure, and business consulting. Her first company was started at the tender age of 19 while she was still in college. And although she was very successful in all of these endeavors, she really kind of found herself a little bit disheartened by the mundane everyday businesses that she had been working in the past. So she sold them all and took a consulting role, which I believe was one of the absolute best things she's done, because that led her to masterminds. So she loved being able to really take a look at the internal structure and procedures of a company and build strategies that helped business owners take their businesses to the next level. It was during this time that she learned that masterminds were a real thing. Wow, what an incredible concept. However, it seemed that they were only available to those who were at the $2 million a year mark or up. And she's like, that's not gonna work. So she set out to change that. Kimberly brought the nationwide organization of CEO Focus to the DFW area. So those of you who know, I live in the Dallas area, and so does Kimberly. And she was able to adapt the model to make it available for any company that was serious about growing their business. Kimberly believes that masterminds are an incredible tool for business owners, and she feels very lucky to be a part of it. And today she's going to talk to us all about masterminds and your business. Kimberly, welcome to the summit. I'm so excited to have you here.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I can't say how glad I am to be here and actually kind of get this information out there, because unfortunately it is something that a lot of people don't know exists today.
Yeah. And I think that that's one of the things, and it's so important. And so I kind of want to begin with, for those who don't know, what in the world is a mastermind?
Well, and I'm glad you asked that, because unfortunately it seems like over time, masterminds have kind of gotten a little muddied the water of what the actual term is.
Yes.
Because I know a lot of times networking groups will use the term mastermind, and it's not. Obviously, some networking can take place inside of a mastermind group, but that's not its main focus. Right. Really, what a mastermind group is kind of peer-to-peer mentoring. It's like-minded individuals coming together. So business owners, let's say, coming together to work as a group to, work through challenges, issues, problems, strategize for growth, brainstorm, really anything that you need in your company. Really it's limitless what can take place in your meeting. They're usually very small in size. That is by design, because you want to make sure that everybody in the group has their turn to be able to put their information out and get that feedback. It's a give and take situation, and they can be absolutely incredible for growing a business, especially for maybe a solo entrepreneur, or those certainly that don't have a board of directors. It can be lonely at the top when you don't have anybody to talk things through with.
Well, and it can be lonely as an entrepreneur, right? If you're a one-man show or one-woman show, it can be very, very difficult to find people to talk to. So
absolutely,
let's talk a little bit about that. Like, we're talking about companies, and we're talking about, small to medium-sized companies, but what about that individual and that entrepreneur? Why should they consider getting involved in a mastermind?
Well, like you said, they can be a remarkable tool, because it gives you those people that understand what you're going through, because they themselves are going through it as well. So you have people that understand your situation and can be able to help you when you get stuck on something. We all have people around us, and some of them, I'm not saying anything bad, but it can be extremely smart people, but they may not be business owners. So they may not understand the exact thing. Like my husband's a very intelligent person, love him to death, but he's been an employee his entire life. And, when I bounce things off of him, I can see where our differences lie, because I'm coming at it from a business owner standpoint and he comes at it more from an employee standpoint. Mm-hmm. And it's not that my husband doesn't understand or, that, he's not an intelligent person. He comes from a different angle. Right. So a mastermind for an entrepreneur to be able to have that like-mindedness is very important, to be able to get that same attention that others understand, and be able to collaborate and get that feedback and resources, things like that from those group members that truly understand because they're in that same place.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. And I think also for perhaps the new entrepreneur who's still trying to step into that CEO role, I can totally see how being part of a mastermind can help change that mindset, so that they start hearing how other people in the group are saying, well, this is how we do it. This is how I do it inside my company. And they start kind of owning some of that CEO role. Because I think that's hard in the beginning for entrepreneurs.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, you don't know. You're kind of winging it in a sense. And if you have somebody there that may have been there before, kind of giving you a little bit of a path that you can follow a little bit, it's less mistakes that you can make. I mean, it's a business, you're going to make them, but maybe you don't make as many.
Right. So one of the things that you talk to your clients about is how masterminds can really give your business a boost. Can you tell us how that works?
Oh, sure. Well, I say it kind of gives you a boost because one, it can kind of keep you from being a bottleneck of your business. We have a lot of decisions to make as a business owner, and obviously you're the one that's responsible for those decisions. There is nobody else going to make them for you.
That's right.
So, but we come up, there's some easy decisions that are, make them done, no worries. But then you come across those that, you're a little afraid to make because you don't want to make that wrong decision. It may cost you money. It may cost you time. It may cost you both. When you're trying to make those decisions and you're afraid of making that wrong choice, you can get yourself bottlenecked at that point. So, what happens when you bottleneck yourself and you don't make that decision? You essentially stop any growth at that point. And at that point, you can even start to go down if you don't. And the longer you stay there, the worse it will be.
Right.
Even making a wrong decision at that time could actually be better than making no decision, because at least then it's the wrong one. You can fix it and kind of reboot yourself and go.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those areas that having that group of people that understand you and business, they can keep you moving forward and keep you growing your business. A lot of times, particularly when you might get stuck working in your business too much instead of working on it.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Absolutely. And it's easy to do. We're all guilty of it. Absolutely. Yeah. But this group will be there. They'll see that. A lot of times you can't. They're going to see things that you can't see because they're outside of it.
So let's talk for a minute about creating and achieving our goals. How can a mastermind be instrumental in helping us to, I guess, navigate where we're trying to go?
Well, obviously goal setting is very important in a business. If you don't have a place set out, that you want to get to, it's very hard to get there, because if it's in your mind, it can change, it can morph, it can do all kinds of things. But if you actually sit down, write them down, that's a huge one. That's super important. So we all know that goals are important. Where a mastermind can actually come in and help you achieve those goals is now you have a set group of people that are going to hold you accountable, because they know your goals as well, because you're going to tell them. And they are going to be able to see where you're going, where maybe you're falling short. See why you're falling short. It may be something you've come up to an issue that you don't know how to solve. It's not that you're not working towards it, but you've hit some area that you need help. You need outside help. Maybe somebody in that group can help you. It may be some collaboration at that point, or they know somebody. You have their network as well as your own to reach out. But it'll keep you moving forward and keep those goals in check and keep you on track. And just keep you moving forward. That's really a main part of Mastermind, is keep you from stalling out and just kind of just sitting there and not growing, and worse, starting to fall back.
Yeah, totally. That totally makes sense. So on the flip side of that, or not really the flip side, I guess in the same direction, how can masterminds actually help you to become more profitable through collaborations with other business owners?
Well, inside your group, depending on how big your mastermind is, generally small, but you're still talking maybe anywhere from 5 to maybe like 15 people. And so you have a solid group of people there that are business owners, that they're probably going to be in a different type of business. We usually recommend our masterminds be industry exclusive for a few reasons. We don't want a competition factor messing up anything in there, but we want that outside the box thinking. So having those different industries in there, as you're working through, there may be something that you need, whether maybe it's content writing, or maybe it's you need a website, or your website needs to be desperately updated, or you need help with your social media, or whatever it actually is. Somebody in that group may actually do that. So you have a great opportunity to work together because you're a trusted group. You understand each other, and you want to work with people that you trust. And then if, let's say it's not necessarily someone directly in your group, they have a lot more resources, because not only do you have your own to fall back on, but you have now an entire group of people that have their own trusted resources that are willing to help you. Because again, that's the mastermind. It's helping one another. And so they can put those forward for you as well. And so, there's a lot of different ways, even referrals, that would be more of a referral basis. But there's many ways to work together.
Yeah. And I could see finding complementary businesses. So although you may not be in direct competition with one another, you totally could be complementary and, offer to, tack on or add on each other's products or services to something that you're offering as a bundle for both your clients, which could be very cool too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you alluded a little bit to this, but beyond just working with other people in the group, how can masterminds truly increase your bottom line?
Well, when you keep moving forward, again, you're encouraging, or how I look at masterminds is they encourage growth. They promote growth. They promote productivity. And when you have those things, your bottom line increases with those, because you're that, that stalling out that we all have probably been victim to at some point in our careers, can be so detrimental, and it can be so, almost get depressed, Why did I decide to do this? Working for somebody else is not sounding so bad right now because I don't know what to do.
Right.
And, we've all been there, but, having that group aspect, and they can help support you. They pull you up when you need it. Mm-hmm. It's a positive influence that can just help keep pushing you forward, particularly in those times that you're kind of down and you want to throw your hands up because nothing seems to be going your way.
Right.
And so again, your bottom line exponentially is just going to increase as your productivity is increasing. And as you're moving forward, and if you're not, then something's wrong. It needs to be figured out. And now you have a group of people to help you figure that out, instead of you banging your head against the wall going, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong.
And I could also see how they could kind of think outside the box, to look for ways in which you can take something you are working on and really maximize your ability to profit from that thing.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So, because I think a lot of times, like you said, right, we get into this tunnel vision, or we're very focused on the one thing we're doing,
Mm-hmm.
not realizing that, oh yeah, you're already doing this. So why not do this with it, and this with it, and this with it, and this with it? And before you realize it, you've got multiple streams of passive income coming in, along with the income that's coming in from that laser focus that you've been working on.
Oh, well, just having other people be able to toss some suggestions out there to you can be so big, because, like you said, you get that tunnel vision, and we all say, oh, well, I wouldn't do that, or I can think past that. When you're in it, it's hard. I mean, you're so focused on what you need to do that everything else just kind of gets shut out from you. And others will be able to recognize that. And as soon as they say it, you're going, why didn't I don't understand why I didn't get there.
Why didn't I think of that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it happens to us all. I mean, you can't take it like, how did I get dumb again here, or what? Right. It happens to everybody, and it's easier to see from the outside.
Yeah. Especially when you're not so emotionally tied to it, right? We work so hard on our businesses, and we put so much time and energy into them. And now all of a sudden somebody's saying, oh, why don't you do this? And you're like, I don't know. Let me figure out how that's going to work in all of this.
Oh, well, they say don't get emotional about business, but exactly. I mean, it's hard not to. I mean, you can't always keep it out. So, yeah.
So how is a mastermind different from group coaching? I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, that's just a group coaching thing, and they're calling it a mastermind. How is it truly different?
Honestly, well, group coaching to me is a lot more general. You generally have a coach, or, a teacher in some sense, that's kind of leading it and putting forth the information to an entire group. And usually there's not necessarily a limit on group coaching. It could be 5 people in there. It may be 150 people. So it's not specific to the members, where a mastermind is a small group of people that meet on a regular basis, and it's just them. You don't have outside people constantly coming in. You may bring in, a speaker every now and then if maybe the entire group is wanting some expert information on a particular subject. You might bring somebody in, but the meeting itself is very specific to those members. Everybody in there is getting their turn to put their information out there, what they need help with, what they're struggling with, or, I have a strategy here. I want some feedback on it. I want somebody to tell me, am I crazy for thinking this? Or, I know there's more to this, but I just can't quite see it yet. Give me your points of view. So to me, it's much more of a generalized versus a very specific atmosphere between group coaching and a mastermind group.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And I think also group coaching, you've really got kind of the coach who has your best interest at heart, but in a mastermind, everybody in that group has your best interest at heart. And that changes the playing field tremendously, because in a mastermind, we're all interested in success. And by all of us working together to reach that success, we all move up the ladder. And so I think that's another big thing that I love about masterminds, is that they really do set you apart. You really do have someone else's best interest at heart inside there.
Yes.
So I know we're coming to the end of this interview, and it does not feel like we've been talking for that long. It always goes by so fast.
It does.
Anything else we need to know right now? I know we're going to dive much deeper in the next interview, but is there anything else we need to know right now about masterminds in your business?
Honestly, they've been around forever. That's probably the main thing. Is a lot of people think these are new concepts and stuff, but our founding fathers of this country used masterminds. The term mastermind wasn't really, put out there, I think, until the 1920s. And so it's something that has been around forever and is a very proven concept to be able to push people forward and keep, growth and just, keep us from stalling out. And then, you know, groups, you have unique skills from everybody in there, experiences, connections, you know, those can be extremely powerful in building a business, particularly when you don't have them. And kind of like we talked about, maybe some of the newer business owners that are still really trying to find their way, that can be a huge boost to be able to understand, oh, so I need to do this. So it's a team effort. That's really kind of like you were talking about. They bringing everybody together, and everybody kind of moves up together. You know, no man left behind. You know, if you're not getting it done, we're going to figure out why you're not getting it done, and we're going to get it done.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. And I love that aspect about them. So before we let you go, how can people reach out to you if they want to pick your brain about masterminds, perhaps join one of your masterminds, or otherwise work with you? How can they reach out to you?
Well, I know you have like our information and everything below.
Yep.
And what I have done, though, I have created a challenge out there for entrepreneurs.
Nice.
So, and I would love everybody to take the challenge. I know everybody gets a little worried because this one in particular has to do with accountability. So, and I'm going to be the one to hold you accountable. So, you know, you have the option to do it or not do it. But if you do it, that'll automatically send me your information, and we'll be able to connect that way. I think you actually have our other information, our website and our social media. Absolutely follow us along on Facebook. We put out a lot of resources on there that can help business owners, but I'd absolutely love to talk to anybody that would be interested, and just answer any questions anybody may have.
Very nice. Very nice. Kimberly, thank you so much for being here and sharing all this information. Guys, click on those links below and take advantage of what Kimberly is sharing with you today, and do not hesitate to take this challenge. It is definitely something that you want to take a closer look at with regard to accountability inside your own business. And then figuring out whether or not masterminds are one of those systems that you want to get going inside your business so that you can really increase your productivity and reach the goals that you're trying to achieve. If you are part of the All Access Pass, stick around, because we're going to be diving much, much deeper with Kimberly in just a few minutes. If you have not yet picked up that ticket, there's a button below. Click on that and go grab yours now, because not only do you get all these live sessions that you're watching right now, but you get those extended deeper dives with every single speaker that I am conducting, and you do not want to miss those. Grab your ticket now. Kimberly, thanks so much for being here. And guys, we will see you inside the All Access Pass. Bye, everyone.